Yeah, so no segue. It's a shit show. Ahsoka finale is really bad. Like really, really, really bad. Now, it's important to note, guys, who are watching this, we're going to compare these numbers like for like with the same metric. So the same metric system that is, valuing all of these, running their systems and having a look at it. We're comparing it like for like. So is this indicative of overall? No, obviously it's going to be higher numbers than what we're showing here, but it's less with the same metric that's taking it. So when you compare it like for like, it's cratered off of a cliff. So we're talking about Samba TV, and we're still due to get Nielsen's numbers in, but they're not going to be the season finale for a little while. But what it will show, undoubtedly, is a drop off from week to week. So what's happened is Ahsoka finale has half the audience of other Star Wars shows. Really, really, really bad. Of what I would argue as well, significantly worse Star Wars shows, I would say. Like I didn't think Ahsoka was great by any stretch of the imagination, but there are significantly worse shows out there. I mean, Book of Boba Fett, I didn't enjoy that. There was essentially nothing at all, but that had significantly higher.
That.
Hey,
I don't think anyone enjoyed that.
Well, this is very true. So what are we talking about, right? Well, here we have it. So Samba TV, scroll down, 863,000 US households. Again, it's only registering what households they track, right? But that compared to, just for argument's sake, Samba TV households that watch this, the finale of Book of Boba Fett, 1.6 million. Oh, what's this? Oh, 1.8 million for Obi-Wan Kenobi. Oh, wait. The only thing it beat was the Mandalorian Season 3 finale. Which someone did correct me, and I think they did say that this was actually only for one day. But I'm not 100% certain on that. I might be wrong. But is this a surprise? What do we think? I mean, to me, it absolutely indicates quite a massive decline in brand quality for Star Wars, brand recognition, brand quality, those types of things. Thoughts? Discuss. What do you think?
Culture, take it away.
You're muted, Culture. Goodness me.
Of course. Sorry. I'm a mute. I think it speaks largely to brand quality. I don't think anybody can argue that. I think that Disney in all of its brands has had a substantial falling off. I think that the audience loses interest very quickly. And I think that the pace of the show and the pure amount of filler and everything else that goes along with it led people to check out early. I would imagine as you saw a steady decline from episode to episode for all of these, not just the first and the last. And again, this is over 6 days, so they're getting an extra couple of days than they used to get because that's what remember they changed the dates that they actually premiere these on, which I don't think most people realize. So it's very, very telling and not surprising. In fact, I would suggest that these numbers, once they bear out in full with the Nielsen numbers, we'll get in another couple of weeks. This is going to be hideous for Disney. It's going to put on full display that Disney has destroyed all of their franchises. This one most particularly. This is the biggest boys franchise in the world, and they're marketing it and making it for girls. They're dumb. They're just dumb.
Yeah, astute observation. Andre?
I can make another observation because, it is the least successful Star Wars series by far. And that, of course, is only natural because it comes on the heel of Obi-Wan, which started really strong and it did not finish strong. And Obi-Wan, that was the thing that could have turned everything around. That was one of their big guns. You had all of the nostalgia for the prequel trilogy and all of that, and you blew it because you couldn't do it right. They had to do their DEI initiatives with a walking diversity insert in there. Well, let's be honest. That's what it was about. It wasn't a narrative need for the character or anything at all. They compromised the entirety of the series, and this was one of the things that WDW Pro learned from his sources, that they were shut down within Disney because you couldn't do a series with Obi-Wan and Luke and the other familiar characters, because there were too many white people. You couldn't have Anakin and Luke and Obi-Wan. Much whiteness. You needed to bring in some diversity, and that compromised the entire series. It wasn't the actors' fault, but it was the direction of the series and the mandates given to it that destroyed it. Something like that has happened to everything. Now, with the possible exception of Andor. I have not seen Andor. I hear people say it's really, really good. I say it doesn't matter how good it is, because it came at such a time when there was such bad will for the Star Wars brand that no one would be watching it. And that's indeed what happened. And Ahsoka, who is a named character, who is someone that many are familiar with, one of the figureheads of the entire animated universe, you'd think this is something that would be a bigger draw, but instead it's doing Andor numbers. And Andor numbers, you don't want to be near Andor numbers, because that's flop territory. If we take a larger view at this figure here, 863,000 views. Now, to be clear, this is Samba-only households, and we do not, and this is over the course of the first 6 days. You know what the kind of numbers that is? That's CW numbers. That's Batwoman numbers. I'm not kidding here.
You're right.
Oh, this is on all of Disney Plus, one of their flagship shows, and what should be a world-leading brand. And this series, the hope for Star Wars, is pulling compatible viewing figures as the reviled Batwoman. That's where we are. That's where Star Wars is. Well, that's what they've done to it.
You're spelling it out very well, Andre. Let me add one thing to that. If the numbers bear out like I expect, this will have ended with only 2.6 million U.S. households viewing it in its entirety in this episode. That's it.
Yeah.
2.6.
You're doing the third, aren't you?
Yep.
Yeah. It sounds about right. I think it's also important to note, right? This stems from a cartoon, and loads of people are like, "Oh, this is about kids, blah 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 blah. Why are you talking about it?" Because actually, that's the only age range that watched it. It was 35 to 40 or something like that, wasn't it?
Because that was the entirety of the audience. That was the size of the audience. That's fine for a kid's cartoon, because they did them in Korea or something, weren't that expensive to make. But they pumped 200 million into this. Just imagine. Well, it's certainly thereabouts. But just imagine if they were to do like a direct continuation to Beavis and actually that might actually work. But hey, say that they do the continuation of Biker Mice from Mars. They do season 5 or something or whatever. It assumes you have seen the all 4. And the first 4 seasons, they pump 200 million into doing it in live action. You just continue straight from where they left off. No introduction for newcomers, no nothing. The fans are going to be back for this. It's going to be awesome. I mean, that's basically what they did here. Cool for the fans, for the 10 people that saw Biker Mice from Mars, Mr. H being one of them, but no one else is going to care.
Yeah. No, you're completely right. I think, it's. I think the other thing to note here: 863 US households watched this. You know, that'll equate to about 2.5 million?
Yeah, just almost 2.6. 2.6.
Yeah, 2.6 million households. They're going to be making a movie about this, because the thing that follows this up is a movie. It's the Dave Filoni movie.
No,
probably there's something else before this, but that is the plan. The plan is that it's this, and then it's who the hell knows what, and then it's the movie. which is
Yep.
basically going to be Heir to the Empire, the movie as imagined by Dave Filoni, which will
Yep.
round out the entire Mandoverse so that Kathleen Kennedy can close the book on that once and for all. Note that it's not something that they want to continue, they just want to end what Favreau started.
So that doesn't spell a recipe for success with the movie, does it? At all. 2.5,
No,
2.6
not
million
really.
domestic households. I mean, that's pretty bad. That is pretty bad.
Well, I just, it's funny because Andre set me off as he normally does to go research something while we were talking. And I went and looked up CW rating for Batwoman.
I think their lowest figures were like 600,000 views.
Well, no, the season 3 had them reaching down into the 400,000s.
Did it really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So again, I mean, this did better than that ensemble, but again, you have to be fair, and that's what I believe.
But season one would have been these numbers. I think that
I bet if Ahsoka keeps going by season 3, it's going to be down to the 400,000s as well. How did season 1 of Batwoman do? Because I think that's going to be a much better comparison to what's doing now.
And you're 100% right. And I think, I'll look that up in a moment. But I wanted to compare it to a modern show that just got canceled on network television, right? Free TV, right? Magnum PI here in the States, right? That show just got canceled in season 5, and it's pulling, just so you know, over 3 million viewers on average.
Wow.
So,
and if we go back a little bit in time, Star Trek Enterprise got cancelled when it was approaching 4 million viewers per episode on UPN.
It's mind blowing to me that these are the numbers that this is pulling. It cost hundreds of millions of dollars to make, right? And you have a network television show on free TV, ad supported, and they're canceling it when it's over 3 million people just in the States watching it. That is incredibly telling. It is. It's just they're spending way too much money for too little gain, and there's no way to kind of make this look good, in my opinion. This isn't.
God, no.
And because Andre spurred me on to check out the first season of Batwoman in its first episode was at 1.8 million viewers.
Now we're talking fairly similar to Ahsoka's beginning, then, aren't we?
It's not so, but that's Samba TV, yes or no?
No, these are the actual overall ratings.
Yeah, these are the actual numbers from yeah. But still, then we are in the ballpark.
Yeah, I think, and again, it's that was the first episode. They were able to hold on to those episodes through Batwoman. They were able to hold on to those numbers all the way up to over 1 million, all the way up to episode 9, where they still had. Well, they brought back 1.7. Episode 10 was fell off dramatically, but through that 9th episode, they were at 1.7 million in the States. That's total households that watch the show in the US. Like I said, if you're comparing apples to apples, this show, if it were on linear television, would have been canceled, and there would be no consideration of the film.
Nope, none at all.
Yeah.
So anyway, fun for me. Go research stuff.
Dear, oh dear, oh dear. So it's doomed. It's dead. We all know it. Slow, steady decline.
Wait, raise your hand if you think they're going to have that movie. I better put mine down.
Oh no, I actually think they will.
I think so too.
I absolutely think they will.
Yeah.
They are so unbelievably committed to making tripe. They will absolutely make that movie.
I'd be shocked if it didn't happen.
Unequivocally, they 100% they're going to make it.
Okay, 2 years from now, we got to have this conversation again, because I'm going to tell you.
Mate, I bet you anything they will. I bet you.
Really?
Okay. I wouldn't. I bet that they'll make it, but I wouldn't bet much. I mean, I wouldn't bet more than I can dare part with, because what we're seeing right now, as I'm sure we'll get to, with Daredevil, with Nelson Peltz. I mean, Disney, they've played this game for as long as they can play it. I'm going to be very careful with saying, well, that's definitely not happening. I do believe that the intention is for it to happen, but who knows? maybe Iger won't be there by the end of the year. I mean, it's not a very likely outcome, but it's within the realms of reality. It can happen. And if that happens, then you can kiss anything that Lucasfilm is doing right now goodbye. But the intention, like bad ratings, has never stopped these people at Lucasfilm before. It's a matter of what external thing might happen to prevent them from moving forward. That's the X factor we're looking at here. All else being equal, this definitely gets made.
I'm starting to see a pattern with Disney, though. When they don't have the capital to support something, they'll drop it. And we've had, and correct me if I'm wrong, 11 announced projects for Lucasfilm that
I wouldn't know the number. So many, I wouldn't know the number.
And KK has fired more directors that have actually competed a Star Wars project. I mean, Tom is the one that figured that out, and so I really wish he was here because he'd know right off the top of his head.
Yeah, we did the count. I don't recall it right now, but basically, the first step in a Star Wars project being cancelled is it's being announced. That's the statistic.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Let's